Hello, Aquarius. So good to see you. Oh, this is your general reading for the month of August. It's already shaping up to be a really, really great reading. The cards are pre-pulled, pre-shuffled. All the bad juju out, all the good juju in. So we got two short messages from Spirit before I pulled the cards, and they are, oh, welcome to Healing Truth Tarot. My name is Shelley, and I forget things. Okay, take the bull by the horns. Freudian slip. Take the bull by the horns, and fear is an illusion. Okay. So I'm going to show you the cards. Pardon me. Show you the cards before I start the reading. So first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards are from a new deck. Yay for new decks. Heaven and Earth Tarot. First is the Seven of Cups. The Moon. King of Cups. Ten of Wands. Two of Pentacles. Next four are from the Rider-Waite Meaning Tarot. The Fool. Ace of Swords. Queen of Cups. Ace of Wands. And the last three tarot cards are from the Crystal Visions deck. Death. The Moon again. The Nine of Wands. And three oracles. The first oracle is from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle, and it is Synergy. And I will read all those things for you. The second oracle is Sacred Traveler, Journey by Moonlight, which is just fitting considering we got the moon twice. And the Telepathy Oracle cards is the last oracle, Strength. All right, let's get going. So this energy of the Seven of Cups is trying to make a decision. This one looks good, that one looks great, but that one looks better. But man, no, maybe this one over here, or maybe I'll take that one there. That chaotic, confused energy is fading. It's not an overall bad feeling energy, because the card is speaking to opportunities, and the struggle, let's say, quote unquote struggle, in that is picking one. You are an Aquarius. I am one as well, by the way. You are an Aquarius. And you are like a kid in a candy shop with the innovation and the looking forward. And how is this going to benefit mankind? And how is this going to benefit my family? That's who you are. That's your energy, the giver. Okay, and we'll talk about the giving. Too much of the giving. Soon. That message is coming through from Spirit, and hopefully I'll remember it. So yeah, so you're coming out of that Seven of Cups energy. You've got it narrowed down, and for some of you, you've picked. Now, there is nothing wrong with picking two things, but there has to be a commitment to do these two things. Now, these two things may be similar in nature, and they just fit right in with each other. Say you, okay, example, I have two channels. I have this channel, and I have the Sober Psychic channel. Now, on the Sober Psychic channel, I don't read tarot cards, but I do what's called service work for other people in sobriety by sharing stuff with them that concerns sobriety and freedom from addiction. But I have this channel where I get to read the cards. Now, reading the cards wouldn't work on the Sober Psychic channel. because everybody's not into that. But if you're looking at this reading, obviously you're into it, or you're at least open to it. You see where I'm going with that? So the two things that you pick probably fit with one another in some way, shape, or form. Just make sure that you can do both things. And I think that most of you have already started. And the sense of that I'm getting there is that it's been taking, I don't think it's taken a long time, but it feels like it's taken a long time. Like it's taking a long time to take hold, for you to get exactly where you want to be. And it's coming, because we have a whole bunch of cards ahead of us here on this table to say it's a coming. So let's talk about the retrograde planets. And I've talked about this with every sign, because it clears a few things up and just flows right in with every single reading in one way, shape, or form. So we have Pluto in retrograde until October 11th. That is death, rebirth, and transformation. We have Neptune till December 7th. That is fantasy, illusion, creativity, and spirituality. And then Saturn until November 15th, discipline, structure, and karma. So just a quick side note with the Saturn. If you've done good for people, expect that to come back. If you've done not so good to people, and there was no, say, apology or heartfelt apology or amends made in some way, shape, or form, then that's probably going to come back too. But I'm not getting a sense of this big, huge karmic debt. Okay, we've been working on our karmic debt. That's what we've been doing. And this has been going on since about April. I think the full moon in April. I forget exactly what day. Maybe the 18th. I might be wrong about that. But the last full moon in April that we had. So we've been... and moons are about illuminating. And we pulled the moon twice. So moons are about illuminating. And some ways of being, some ways of thinking, some ways of doing things we've been looking at that. You've been taking a hard look at it because it doesn't work anymore. And that is the common theme. It just doesn't work anymore. It's not serving your higher purpose, and therefore it's not serving the community or the world purpose, which is what you, Aquarius, are really all about. So, and speaking your truth. The moon will help you speak your truth. You've seen how people get around the full moon. We all act like we're nuts. But it's all good. It's all for a reason. All right, so again, we have the moon card. Things being brought to light. That's Neptune energy. Things being brought to light. So that introspection that you've been doing, that shattering the illusions, seeing fantasies for what they really are, seeing that the way you thought it was isn't really the way it is, or the way that it was working before isn't the way it works anymore. You've seen that. You're already doing the work. You've done a large enough portion of the work that the new stuff that you made room for when you got rid of the old stuff, that stuff is on its way. Now we have Mercury in retrograde too. And everybody goes, oh my God. Yeah, I get it. But Mercury is retrograde is the reset. You get to go back and tweak those things. Or like with the Saturn and the karma coming back, some of that is going to be old people, places, and things coming back. Old situations coming back. Just for another round, just to make sure that you are absolutely certain that you are done with those people, places, things, and situations. And partially also coming back around to remind you of how far you've come. You've come a long way. And you've been doing good work. I like to call it, some people call it hard work. I call it good work. Because it's for a reason. It's not just, it's for growth. It's not Hard work is when you work for somebody else. Good work is when you work for you. Because you, Aquarius, know exactly the impact that you have just by the things that you change within yourself and how it changes everybody around you and everything around you. The one thing you have to work on, though, Aquarius, is fear. And you're doing really good with it. But I'm seeing these bouts of it. But what I'm seeing that's different with the fear right now is that even though you're going through bouts of it, and every human goes through fear. If they say they don't, they are incorrect. Yes, they do. Maybe they don't see it. Every human has fear. And Aquarians tend to let fear dictate how they behave, how they think, it dictates our overall emotional energy. Because we're accused of coming off as standoffish, unemotional, apathetic, and we are just the opposite. We hold that here and here. When someone says something to an Aquarius, chances are, something that is mean, chances are that the Aquarius will let it go. And they'll let it go, and they'll let it go until their head explodes. And then whether the issue is addressed by speaking their truth or it isn't. Because Aquarians know sometimes it's just best to walk away and be done. But when we are done, we are done. We don't want to hear you talking to us. We don't want to hear your excuses. We don't want to hear your reasons. We don't want to even hear your apologies. Once we walk away, we've walked away. So, the fear is going to happen, but it's less frequent. That's what Spirit's telling me. It's less frequent. And when it does happen, it doesn't last as long. You're pushing through it. You're walking through it, bulldozing your way through it. Whatever you need to do, you're getting through it. And I'm fond of saying not over it, under it, or around it, through it. Because again, you like to speak your truth. And I know that sometimes you hold that truth back because it might be hurtful to somebody. And Aquarians can come off blunt. The filter between an Aquarian's mouth and an Aquarian's brain can be thin at times. Not all the time, because we can be very discerning and very diplomatic in our words. But the fear is going to happen. But right now it's like you're feeling this fear and you're like, I thought I was over that, but that's not the way that works. You're not over it. You're working with it. You're working through it. It will come again. And the reason it feels so awful is because the work really just started. You've just started making headway with that fear. But you got this. The ongoing theme from Spirit is faith, trust, and hope. You've got this. If you can think it, you can be it. If you can think it, you can have it. So, on we go, onward and upward. Next card, King of Cups. So this is your energy. This is, or it's going to be. You're either in this energy or you're moving towards this energy. Because you're showing yourself that the reality is that you don't really need anything. You have everything that you need. And you got some stuff you want, too. You know, Aquarians aren't generally materialistic. In extreme cases, yes. But again, that comes from fear. The feeling of lack comes from fear. Due to, upbringing or circumstances that surrounding surrounding an Aquarius for a long, long time, because we absorb stuff. We absorb everything that goes on around us or happens to us. We absorb that and we carry it. And Spirit is saying, let it go, because this is the energy that you really are. If you're not there yet, you're almost there. Kings don't want for anything. And the King of Cups represents not wanting for anything emotionally. That everything you need to fulfill you emotionally is already around you. It's already there. We just have to... Aquarians need to meditate. Do some breathing exercises. Listen to music. Nature is big for Aquarians. Just anything that brings you peace. Do more of it. Do more of it. So we have the Ten of Wands. And that just speaks to what we were talking about, the carrying too much. You're just carrying so much. Carrying your stuff, carrying this person's stuff, carrying that person's stuff. That stuff isn't for you. Not your not your circus, not your monkey. Not your monkeys. Okay? I know that it's almost painful to watch another person struggle. But they have to, because if we don't let them struggle and live their own lives and learn their own experiences, we do them a disservice. I am guilty of it with my kids. I never wanted my children to feel the emotional pain I felt, ever. So in a lot of ways, I sheltered them. I did them a disservice. They're fine. They're all adults now. They've all got their own lives and learning their own lessons and stuff. But I should have done more when they were growing up. So enough about me. Sorry, I'm not trying to focus on myself. I'm just giving examples because I can relate to you guys. Hard. So yeah. So their stuff is not your stuff. You let them have it. When the people are coming at you, pointing their finger, this is your fault, this is your fault, this is your fault. No, it isn't. You take responsibility if you have your piece in it, and you do what you need to do to release that and let it go. But after that, you allow other people to have their stuff because it's theirs. You don't own that, and you don't have to carry it. It's too much, and you know that. You know that it's too much. Because it's gotten to the point where it's unbearable. Like, to the point where you're struggling to deal with your own, the things that life throws at you, or the universe throws at you, let alone everybody else's stuff. You don't have to deal with other people's things for them. You can't fix other people. You know that. But it's in your heart to do that. To be of service to others. That's in your heart. All right, next we have the Two of Pentacles. So that's talking about balance. Twos are always about balance. And this is a little bit of material wealth in there. It's Spirit saying that with this, hold on a second, I thought I saw a King of Cups. I did see a King of Cups. Hello. This, along with the King of Cups, tells me that there is some financial goodies coming towards you. Some financial goodies coming towards you that are going to produce this emotional balance, this lack, this absence of feelings of lack. And you deserve it. Saturn, again, is the planet of karma. So for some of you, for a group of you, there's going to be something financial coming towards you. Possibly this week. So keep your eyeballs peeled. And open that correspondence you don't want to open, or you think is junk mail. Don't throw out junk mail. Look at it anyway. It can be an inheritance. It can be a check from a company you weren't even aware owed you money. from a lawsuit or something, and they're just settling out of court by them, by themselves without being prodded to do so. It could be anything. It could be somebody owes you money and they bring it back to you. So, excuse my hiccup. So, yeah, you got some financial stuff going on, and in the way that it comes to you, the situation that it comes to you in, is what's really going to bring the emotional balance, because you're going to be like, finally, the universe heard me, and I'm being rewarded for the good things that I do for everybody else. Which brings us to that doing too much for everybody else thing. I mean, we kind of spoke on that for a minute there, but it's more than just carrying other people's troubles for them. It's doing too much for other people financially, doing too much for other people physically, coddling those who assume it's their privilege to be coddled. People like to take advantage of Aquarians. I mean, people like to take advantage of anybody, but Aquarians especially will get taken advantage of, because people sense that goodness in us and they want to exploit it. So Spirit's message is start testing the waters with saying no. And yes, some people will be angry. And there will be tears, and there will be shouting. Not with everyone you tell no to, but there will be, at some point, tears and shouting and anger. They'll get over it. Or they won't, and they'll move on. Every sign is coming into new tribes. It's necessary to let go of the people who are not part of your spiritual journey any longer, who don't have any their job is done in regards to your spiritual growth. Them being in your life, that job for them is done. And your job there is done for them too. Whatever spiritual growth that they got from you being in their life, that's ending as well. So you're going to find new people. And that in itself is a little bit scary for some of you. Well, first of all, you're a fixed sign and you don't like change, which is funny because you promote it all the time. You're consistently promoting change for yourself because you know inherently that promoting change is the only way to do good for everybody else that you want to do good for in a collective level, on a collective level. So, no is a complete sentence, people. And once you are able to do that, and this energy of the King of Cups comes through with the I have everything I need, and then the Two of Pentacles, karmic debt being paid, comes through. Then you're ready to do this. We have the Death card in here. Let me show you that one before we get here. So you got the Death card, and I do like to reiterate that doesn't have anything to do with a human being dying. Someone around you may have chosen to exit the planet, or pass over, or cross over, however you like to put that. And for those of you that has happened, there was a lesson in it. For some of you, it was, I should have been nicer. Because Aquarians aren't above being nasty. We're human. I should have been nicer. I should have done more. I should have visited more. So there's your lesson. There's that Saturn with its karma. That's your lesson. And my condolences to anyone who's had anybody pass recently. Or at all. At all. So the Death card, though, for right now, is the death of that old thinking, the old behaviors, the old ways of doing things, the old relationships, the outdated thought patterns, mostly. For you guys, it's the thoughts, because you're air and you're in here all the time. So it's mostly about the death of pattern thinking, repetitive thinking that isn't doing anything for you. And once your head and your heart match up, when it's time to make the change, that's when the change comes. That's when the death and rebirth start. Pluto, planet of death and rebirth. Right now we have a cosmic pause with Mercury in retrograde. Mercury is the hunker down now and go back and look stuff over and tweak things that need to be tweaked, let go of things that need to be let go, need to be let go of. It is about delays as well. That's called cosmic timing. It's about delays. It's about communication, people misunderstanding one another, or communications just not getting to someone, or someone just not receiving the communication. It's about travel, screw-ups in travel, problems with airlines in general. I mean, even airline companies. So that's what Mercury is for. And it's not the big, bad, awful thing. It's a reset. We get to come out of it doing better. But honestly, Mercury's not even going to be out of its shadow period. Impossibly not even out of being in retrograde, specifically in retrograde like it is now. That started on the 4th, by the way, Sunday the 4th. Mercury's not even going to be out of it, of the retrograde, before things start coming to you. These things that we're talking about that are coming back to you. That karma that's coming back to you, that's going to start very, very quickly. And it's going to take some of you by surprise. The good, the bad, and the indifferent. It's going to take you by surprise. But you got this. Do that breathing. Plant your feet on the ground and notice they're planted there. Plant your butt in the seat and notice it's planted there. And be open to receive the messages through your intuitions, through your dreams. So maybe you hear it audibly. Maybe you hear it, thoughts cross your mind that aren't yours, or have nothing to do with what you were just thinking. The literal pressure in the stomach, in the sacral chakra. Pay attention to those things. And Spirit wants to say that it knows that you have not been sleeping. This is very common as well for every sign. There's cosmic downloads. The universe is sending us some heavy, heavy downloads. Earth, Mother, she's vibrating at a higher level. She's readjusting herself. We're feeling that physically, mentally, and emotionally. And we're stressed. There's a great deal of anxiety. So I'm going to tell you what I tell every single sign. I realize you've got stuff to do. But if it can wait a couple of hours, go take a nap whenever it's possible. Because if you're not sleeping, you're not thinking. And the lack of sleep will create even more stress and more anxiety. Because you Aquarians, us Aquarians, are anxious human beings. Yes, we are. All right, so the death card, we dealt with that. Now we're at the Fool. So the death happens, the rebirth happens, the rebirth happens. And that's where that trust and faith comes in. The Fool is all about trust and faith, taking that leap of faith, not knowing where they're going, or maybe knowing where they're going, but not knowing how it's going to turn out. Because you've already you've narrowed your choices down. You've done some inner work. You've done some introspection. You've got some balance. Now it's time for this. Now you feel like you can take a deep breath and just go forward. And that's why I'm saying this is for the month of August. And Mercury's not out of retrograde until the 28th. And we're still going to be feeling the shadow of it 3 weeks after that. So the third week of September, we'll still be feeling it. But things are still going to be moving forward. Slowly at first. And I think the closer we get to the end of the actual retrograde, that's when things are going to start showing up. You've planted seeds, guys. You've planted seeds. They're already sprouting. You just can't see it. It's like planting a seed in a starter planter. You don't see it, but underneath the dirt, that little seed is forming roots. And this is no different. Your manifestations are no different. But you got to get past that fear and get more into that trust and that hope and that faith. So there. All right. Ace of Swords, cutting through the BS. Clarity. Fresh clarity. Moon. Moon. 2 moon cards. Lots of clarity. Again. Neptune. Lots of clarity. And we have a full moon in our sign. Third week of the month. Probably. I don't know what day it is. I'm going to have to guess around the 21st or 22nd. I haven't actually looked it up. But we have a new moon or a full moon in our sign this month. It's a beautiful thing, people. The planets are they're kicking butt. This whole thing, this whole life, the universe, the planets, it's all about us. The human race, the collective. It's all about us. It's a journey, but it's a fun journey if we allow it to be. So it's just really cool the way this retrograde season is it's beautiful. And it may not feel beautiful all the time, but it really is. So just stay as quiet as you can, as often as you can. Take a deep breath and connect with the universe, Source, God, Jesus. And feel that love, that energy of love. Okay? Cutting through the BS. Clarity. Queen of Cups. So we have the King of Cups and we have the Queen of Cups. Now, we all carry masculine, feminine, you all know that, energies. I'm not telling you a secret there, but I feel like this there's no Lover's card, but I feel like this might have something, well, it has to do with relationships. And I think we spoke about that a little bit, about some people falling away, some people you walking away from, some people are walking away from you. But that feels like relationships. So there is a very good chance that there will be a brand new relationship coming towards you during this retrograde. And Spirit's message is just to take it slow. Just take it slow. Go out to a movie. Go out to dinner. Just do something that doesn't put pressure on either one of you. And treat it like a friendship. Because some of you have been truly and immensely and often hurt by relationships. Because you have this notion that because you treat people with love and respect and kindness, that they will treat you the same way. And that's, for some of you, that's rarely true. But you're about to be rewarded for that. That karma's coming back. Because I forgot to mention, the piece of the karma where you've been treated badly. And there's an apology, a sincere one, or there's just some type of repayment for other people's debts. Because other people do, we all owe other people, other souls, karmic debt. But one of the main themes of Aquarians right now is that they came here. They came here knowing, planning to clear up karmic debt from past lives. Now that started with clearing up karmic debt from this life. And then we started moving back to clearing up the karmic debt from other lives. And Source said this is going to be hard. And we said we don't care. And it's not just Aquarians. A lot of signs are doing it. It doesn't matter what sign you are. But I feel a huge energy of that with Aquarian energy. That karmic debt from this life and past lives has been cleared up. A great deal of it. You're not done yet. But there's some karmic debt for you. You've let a bunch of stuff go. You've worked through a bunch of stuff. You've done what you were supposed to do to clear things up. And in order to do that, many of you had to lead extremely difficult lives. And this is your reward. It's coming. Things can only get better. All right. So we have the Queen of Cups. Now the Ace of Wands. Oh, fresh movement. Yeah, so going in new directions. Wands are about movement. Going in new directions, as we said. Well, it fell on the floor. The Seven of Cups. I'm not going to lean down to get it. Seven of Cups was making those choices, as we've already stated. So we're kind of repeating ourselves here. And again, the Moon. Things being illuminated. Cutting through the BS. All right, and then because of that, we have the Nine of Wands, and our girl is sitting pretty. That is reaping the rewards after the work. And that is the energy that you are headed towards if you're not there yet. Excellent. Let me show you what was on the bottom of the decks. On the bottom of our Heaven and Earth, we have the Ace of Cups. New emotional beginnings. The Fool. The Queen of Cups. And on the Rider-Waite Meaning Tarot, we have the Page of Wands. Yeah, message, like I was saying. Messages. Correspondences that helps you to move forward. Again, wands are about movement. Information that helps you to move forward. And then the Crystal Vision stack, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Earthy. Again, slow moving. Fits perfectly with Mercury in retrograde. Slow moving, stability. So, although there's a good chance, oh, I forgot to mention games of chance this week. Just, I don't know, games of chance and investments. But behave yourself, okay? So, she's secure. She knows she's secure. Just like the King, she knows she doesn't need anything. She doesn't need anything she doesn't need anything more to move forward. Okay? And this Queen knows it too. She doesn't need anything more to make her emotionally stable or emotionally... Yeah, I don't think that's a word there, Spirit. Emotionally evened out. Balanced. That's the word. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, good thing my spirit guides love me. Okay, let's do our oracles. We're going to start with the Sacred Geometry Activations and its synergy, and I'm going to have to read it to you. It's very small. Okay. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. That's the manifestation card, you guys. Manifestation. All right, and then we have the Sacred Traveler Oracle, Journey by Moonlight. Believe in magic. Faith, trust, hope. And the Telepathy Oracle is Strength. The power of love is like a magnet, drawing souls together. Yeah, so that kind of goes with what I was saying about the king and the queen, the possibility of new love coming in. Because we have the Ace of Cups on the bottom of the Traveler deck. New emotional beginnings. So, and obviously you have the strength. You have the strength to get through this. You've gotten this far. So obviously you have the strength to get through anything. But I don't see anything super bad going on. I don't see anything bad or awful coming. Things will be uncomfortable. There may be some anger in some of the situations where you're having to let go of people or they're letting go of you. There's going to be some anger, and it's uncomfortable. And it may be painful. But you know what you're doing. You're not new anymore. You know how to move through that. You know how to move through those feelings. And you know what? Once you do, that's when you experience the energy of the Ace of Cups. When you start moving through those awful feelings. And there's going to be discomfort from new things starting. And I think that's where some of the fear is coming from for many of you, is starting something new. And that's scary, like I said, for everybody. It doesn't matter what sign you are. Change is scary. And it's uncomfortable. But you're making a choice right now. You're making a choice to, am I going to walk through the gate, or am I going to stay on this side of the gate? And I think most of you are walking through the gate. That was a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for joining me here at Healing Truth Tarot. Please remember to like, subscribe, tap that notification bell, and comment for the algorithms like that. You have a beautiful, beautiful day or evening. Blessings.